Welcome to another episode of King's World. Okay, so it's that time, it's Thanksgiving, it's a holiday week, so I decided let's continue the whole theme of having fun. So I thought about it this past week. I'm like, what can I do, or what can I say to the fans out there, to you guys, to the meatheads and the meatheadettes, that is going to give them a little bit of fun, make them laugh a little bit, and make them think at the same time. So I came up with this week's theme: the top 5 craziest things I've ever done during contest prep. Here we go. Okay, number 1 on my list. I like to call this one losing my mind at 4 weeks out. So through my competitive career, it always came down, for me, it was for some reason 4 weeks out. As soon as I hit 4 weeks out, I would legitimately lose my mind. And I would have to hire an assistant to follow me around all day long, just to answer my questions for me, to help me pick up the weights, or to drive me around, or just to pick up stuff. I mean, I needed someone just to do normal day-to-day for me, just so I can survive. That's the level of craziness that I used to hit when I hit 4 weeks out. So the craziest thing I did at 4 weeks out, I used to usually around 1 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, but it's anywhere between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning, I would get up, put on some pajamas, or back then we used to call them skids. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember what skids are, but they look like freaking pajamas. And get into my car, and I used to drive to 24-hour Giant. Now, Giant is like, it was our grocery store. It's like Stop and Shop, Food Lion, or whatever the hell you guys go to. We used to call it Giant. So we used to go to Giant, and it was open 24 hours a day. And at that time, the only people that are in there are psychopaths like me and the poor people that are trying to restock the shelves. So I would go there and I would walk down the aisles and grab anything I could and start reading labels to see, I wonder if this has any sugar in it. Does this have any sugar? I mean, I'm literally picking up anything I can to find something that I could eat at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I would never find anything. I would go and waste my time walking down the aisle. Then my favorite was the bulk aisle. I don't know if you guys have a bulk aisle. I would walk up and down the freaking bulk aisle just trying to sample things, but I would look at it and I would bring it up close to my mouth and I would put it back. So then what I would do is I would buy a cake, the biggest, juiciest, just the most amazing cake they had. I would get it, go to the counter, pay for it, get in my car, and I would put it right in the front seat as I'm driving home. 4 weeks out, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm driving home, and then suddenly, out of the blue, I would roll my window down, grab the lid off the cake, and do this. Get a swipe, start sucking on my finger as much as I can, then spit out the window, grab the cake, and chuck it out the window. Folks, I can't tell you how many cakes I chucked out my window going home at 4 weeks out. Number 1 crazy ass thing that I did during contest prep. Number 2 on my list of crazy things. This has to do with the guru, Mr. Amin Ali. Amin had this philosophy that when you do your carb depletion, starting at 1 week out, which would be for usually 4 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, 7 days out before the show, he would also say, not only do you have to do your carb depletion, you have to deplete your body as well. And I didn't really think much of that. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go do the gym, do my workout. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm suffering. I'm going to be a zombie. No. With Amin, everything was 100 reps. Now, 100 reps, folks, when you're depleted of glycogen, you have no energy. You're pretty much walking on air. It's the worst feeling in the world. You feel so lethargic. Everything is going in slow motion. And then you'd see this guy, Amin, show up with all the energy in the world, and he'd make you do, and the worst was the 7-day out leg, because you do want to do legs 7 days out. And then it takes an entire week for your leg to recover. Oh my God. 100 reps of squats, 100 reps of leg press, 100 reps in the hack squat. I can't even begin to tell you people the brutality and the level of suffering that we went through because of Amin and his mentality. Now, do I do that anymore? No. Because I realize it's just too much. It's not necessary. And I don't want to put people through the torture chamber of Amin. But that was the second thing on my list of the craziest thing I did during my contest prep. The 100 rep leg depletion day. The absolute worst. Third craziest thing I did. Well, it was, again, 4 weeks out. What is it with 4 weeks out? 4 weeks out before my pro debut at the 2001 Ironman Pro, and my training partner got injured. So I needed someone. I needed someone to push me. And I was at the gym, and I was looking around, and I'm a little bit crazy. I'm hungry. I'm a little, the anxiety's going through the roof because I need someone to push me. And then there was always this one kid. I remember this one kid that used to come in. I couldn't figure out, he was Asian, but I didn't know what kind of Asian he was. He had a little bit darker, darker skin, and he looked a little angry. Actually, not a little, he was very angry. And I would see him every day. So, 4 weeks out, again, mentality, you're all jacked up, you're messed up in the head. So I approached him. And I said, hey, do you want to train with me for the last 4 weeks? I got a competition coming up, this and that. All right. Make a long story short, folks. He ended up being the head of an Asian gang that was, I mean, you want to talk about MS-13 and all that stuff nowadays? Forget about it. This kid was next level crazy gangster. I mean, he had freaking knife cut scars all over his body, a scar on his face. You can't imagine the level of viciousness that this kid had. And I forgot his real name. I think it was Freddie, but I used to call him Bolo. If you guys know any Bruce Lee movies or any Van Damme movies, Bolo was a very famous character, Bolo Yuen. Actually, his son he's still a bodybuilder. But Bolo, I used to call him Bolo. And you know what? He liked it. Thank God he liked it. This guy, Bolo, I can't tell you the fear that I had, and just the level. I mean, he used to come with a freaking gun in his back pocket. He would have guns in his locker room, and his phone would be going off, and his beeper, back then we had beepers, his beeper will go off, and he would be talking violently about killing someone. This guy is exactly what I needed. I teamed up with a freaking gangster, not a fake gangster, a real gangster for the last 4 weeks before my Ironman debut. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. He not only scared the crap out of me, he gave me that extra drive and extra push, because when he said, do more, I'll never forget, do more. I'll do 2 more. Do more. Look at him. I'll do 2 more. And right about the racket, he goes, nah, Saka, you know, 2 more. Just do 2 more reps. It was worth it, man. Bolo, I don't know if you're still alive. I don't know where the hell you are, but love you, man. Thank you for pushing me. Crazy story number 3. Crazy contest prep story number 4. So, year's 1999. I'm 2 weeks out before the NPC Nationals. It's my year. The Flex magazine, all the magazines were touting me as the guy to beat. I'm the #1 contender going into the show. And for some reason, I hit a brick wall. I don't remember exactly why, but I just woke up. I remember it was 2 weeks out. I hit a brick wall. I was confused. I didn't have energy. I was just messed up in the head. And I knew that my coach, remember, folks, back then, we didn't have internet. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't have FaceTime. We had telephones. That's all we had. So what I did is I knew that the Miss Olympia that year was going to be in Jersey. And I live in Virginia, so that's a 4-hour drive for me. I grabbed my girlfriend. I said, we're going. She goes, what the hell are you talking about? With nothing packed, just the clothes on our backs and the wallets in our pocket, we just jumped in a car. We drove all the way up. And I went and I saw Chad. I just needed to see his face because I knew if I saw his face, and you know, you got to understand how Chad Nichols is. You could do the most amazing thing. You could have cross striations on your eyeballs and he's going to look at you and say, "Yeah, man, that's pretty good. Just keep doing what you're doing and I'll see you tomorrow." That was Chad. Never impressed with anything. So I went there, saw him, and he saw that I was a little messed up in the head, this and that. And he goes, "You know, Ronnie's here." And I'm like, "What?" And Ronnie was the newly crowned Mr. Olympia. He goes, "Well, Ronnie's here. He's downstairs in the hotel gym. You might want to go see him." So I'm like, all right, you know, that'd be cool. So, folks, I walked down there, and nobody knew I was coming. I didn't know I was going. I had no food. I had nothing prepared. I just needed to see his face. What happened? I walked into the hotel gym, and this is all I saw. Lats flinging up and down on the treadmill like this, headband, sweat dripping, and quads. And the treadmill going boom, boom, boom. And Ronnie's doing cardio. And I looked at him and I said to myself, you've got to be kidding me. People don't understand 1999, 2000, 2001 Ronnie Coleman. It was a sight that you cannot believe unless you, I can't even explain to you the feeling or what I saw when I walked into that stupid ass gym in that hotel. And that's all the motivation I needed. And as soon as I saw him, I turned right back around. We hopped right back in the car again, another 4 hours back, did my thing, won the national championship 2 weeks later. Crazy ass thing I did, number 4 on my list. Number 5, and the last craziest thing I did during contest prep. Well, folks, this one is going to come back to haunt me, but I'm going to say it anyway. My Preparation H fiasco. This is what I call my Preparation H fiasco. Now, what's Preparation H? For you guys who don't know, it's hemorrhoid. It's ass cream for your ass. It's supposed to stop the itching and inflammation. Now, here's the thing though. If you don't get the cream and you get the ointment, there's a special ingredient in the ointment that when you put on your skin, it actually thins the skin out. It pulls out the water, it thins it out. A lot of supermodels used to use Preparation H under their eyes the night before like a big major photo shoot to make the puffiness go down. So now bodybuilders found out that if you take Preparation H ointment and you put it on troubled spots or spots that you wanted to get really thin skin like the glutes or the stomach, and you get in a tanning bed, somehow the ultraviolet rays will pull that water from under that skin and it will tighten up your skin. So I had it in my head that, okay, if a little bit of Preparation H is good, maybe a lot of Preparation H is good. So what I did is I would go to Costco and I would buy 50 to 60 to 70 boxes of Preparation H. And can you imagine me coming up to the register and what that poor sap is thinking? My God, they must have thought that I had the biggest ass problem on the planet. And I'm sitting here buying all this preparation. Now, that's not even the messed up part. My cousin was in town for his vacation. And he was there just vacationing. He came all the way from Melbourne, Australia. And I used to wake him up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day, getting ready for the nationals, and make him put Preparation H all over my back, all over my glutes, all over anything that I couldn't reach. And I would go to the gym in the mornings for my fasted cardio, smelling like ass ointment. I can't begin to tell you the stench of this thing. And then go to the tanning salon immediately afterwards, and these poor girls that had to clean up the tanning bed after I got out of it, with this ointment all over me. Preparation H. I did that for 40 days straight, the last 40 days before the show. Oh my God, the stench, the sliminess of sitting in your car and hearing that noise when you sit down. Oh, to this day it makes me Preparation H. Every time I walk by the aisles in CVS or Walgreens and I see it, it actually makes me go like that. I get the little heebie-jeebies. I can't even look at it anymore. There it is, my top 5 crazy contest prep. stories. I got a ton more. I got a million more I can tell you guys. And believe me, I'm going to dish out more. A lot of party stories. I know you guys have been asking for the party stuff. That's coming too. So there it is. Happy Thanksgiving. As a little tip to you guys for Thanksgiving, this is what I tell all my clients. Make sure Thanksgiving morning you hit the gym, and make sure you don't eat all day long. Just that heavy dinner, have fun with your family, enjoy yourselves, and then the next day get your ass back into the gym so just you can even things out. Okay? Love you guys. God bless. Enjoy this week. Enjoy this holiday. And as always, peace.